All right, shalom, shalom. This is the first of a series we're going to do on this channel here. So if you are members of our Sons and Daughters of the Covenant of Yah channel, all of our live videos, that will be the ones that are not membership um, videos, they will be on this channel. Okay, so if you are a person who want to keep the Shabbat with us, and you want to be a part of our live stream sessions, you must be a member on our Sons and Daughters of the Covenant of Yah channel. Okay, so the title of this topic is The Kingdom of Priests. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this subject is because many of religious people don't comprehend the covenant. Okay, primarily those of us who have embraced the identity that we are Israel. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, I had a thought earlier. I was talking about how that these camps that teach we Israel, but there's nothing different other than the awakening to the knowledge that we are those people that broke the covenant. So I want to go back to the book and we're going to read something. So, what is the covenant in a nutshell? Okay, here's the covenant, right? This is coming from Exodus chapter 19. It says, start at verse 4. It says, "You have seen what I have done to the Egyptians, and how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, therefore, if you will obey my voice and indeed keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine." So, the covenant, he said right here, if you obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. Let's read it again. Okay. He says, if you will obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Right? So you shall obey my voice and keep my covenant. Right? So what is that covenant, right? That covenant is everything that the Most High said for us to do. Keep the covenant, right? Okay? Let's read it again. Somebody missed it. Okay? If you will obey my voice indeed, right? Obey my voice indeed. That means everything that he says. That's what Yahshua was saying when Yahshua said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah shall man live." What is he saying? If you obey his voice, that means that you can't come into a second half of the book and say, "We're not under that no more." Because what you're in fact saying is that you're not willing to obey his voice, right? So if he said it once, he said it again, right? He didn't end it. He gave it for us to follow so that we can do what? As he said in the text. Let's go back in. If you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, right? Then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all the people, for all the earth is mine. Okay. So the question is, the covenant that he gave, is it an old covenant or is it a new covenant or is it a covenant period? Right? Okay. All right. What is the covenant? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. Let's go to Genesis, right? Okay. Genesis, go back. Okay, this is what he told Abraham in Genesis, right? I think it's 12. He said, okay, maybe I got the wrong one. It's not 12. I think it's 16. 15. 15. Okay, we got 15. It says, after these words, Yah came to Abram in a vision, saying, fear not, I am your shield and thy exceeding reward. And Abram said to Yah, what wilt thou give me, right? Seeing that I go childless, and the steward of my house is Eleazar of Damascus. Abraham said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of Yah came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thy heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. He said unto him, so shall thy seed be. And he believed in Yah, and he counted it to him for righteousness. He said unto him, I am Yah, who brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it. He said, Yah, what shall I know? Whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? He said unto him, take a heifer 3 years old, and a she goat 3 years old, right? And a ram of 3 years old, and turtle dove, and young pigeon. He took unto him all these and divided them in the midst, and said, laid each piece one against another, but the birds he divided not. Okay, now, skipping forward. He says, okay, let's continue. When the fowls came down upon the carcass, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, right? And lo, horror of great darkness fell upon him. He said unto Abram, know surely that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that's not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass, when the sun went down, dark was, behold, smoke, furnace, and burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And the same day, Yah made a covenant, here it is, with Abram, saying, right? Unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the river of Euphrates, the Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Canaanites and the Hittites, Perizzites, the Rephaites, and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. Right? So here's the covenant he says here. Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land. Right? So, what is the covenant, brothers and sisters? The covenant is kingship, right? Religion have made man look at man as being their master instead of them being kings, right? Abraham got it. We don't get it because we go to our pastor for everything, our preacher, or even more in the Hebrew circles, right? But Yah has called us to kingship. That's the covenant, right? But many of us don't walk in that kingship because why? We look at the covenant as religion and not as the Most High giving us dominance, right? We're supposed to dominate everything we touch. That's kingship. That's having full control over your life, right? Your success, your health, wholeness, your wealth, all the above, right? But we're not operating in that kingship. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because there many people operate through the spirit of witchcraft. Witchcraft is when you try to manipulate somebody to believe something your way, to do it your way, and not to be independent in their thoughts and thinking according to as the Most High has ordained it. The Most High have ordained us to be independent in our thinking. But the world wants us to be clones. And so we can't be kings if we're clones. We have to dominate. The Most High put it in us to be dominant, right? And since we are led by men who want us to follow their vision instead of following Yah's vision, we've become under the spirit of witchcraft and control. And we can't be a king as long as we're controlled. That's why so many people can't make it in corporate America, because corporate America expects you to be controlled by the corporate system, right? You can't be a king and be controlled by a system. You have to be the controller, so to speak. All right. So that is the covenant, right? Now, I'm gonna close with this here, and this is what a lot of Hebrew camps miss, right? And you can't identify that you're Israel because that's not the covenant. Okay? The covenant is the Most High promise to make you kings, right? As long as you obey his voice and keep his covenant. He tells you how to be a king, right? That's obeying the voice, keeping the covenant, recognizing and comprehending that you have been made to be a king, right? And a priest. So that means that you can't be a king and do it your way. You got to do it the way that he instructs us to do it. That's the reason why this world system is going down, because the Most High gave a system of even how we handle the agriculture, right? 7 year, we're supposed to allow the earth to rejuvenate. We're supposed to allow the poor and the needy to be able to glean from the fields in that 7th year. But the world's not doing that, right? In the Jubilee year, the year of Jubilee, the 50th year, we're supposed to allow people to go free from their lifetime debts. And so if for example, if you got a home that you bought and you owe a mortgage on that, when the year of Jubilee comes, you're supposed to be free of that debt. We're going to do it that way, right? So we're not doing it the way. So therefore, we can't be a kingdom of priests. We become a dictatorship and not a kingdom, right? The Most High will not make you do something that you don't want to do, right? If you choose to sin, he will give you that right to choose to do sin, to transgress against his law, and there's a judgment on that, right? But he's not going to force you to serve him. But the world wants us to believe that the Most High want to force us to serve him. Anybody that forces you to do something is a witch. Most High's not a witch. He gives you that ability to choose, right? So now I'm gonna close with this here, Deuteronomy 30, right? Deuteronomy 30, and let everybody know that we're gonna give a nugget here on this channel here. So our other channel, once again, if you hear and you didn't see the first part of this live on the Sons and Daughters of Covenant of Yah, we're not gonna be doing a lot of free stuff on there. All our free stuff will be on this channel here. Okay, so if you want to see free and you don't want to give a contribution, you want to hold your hands back, this is the channel to do that on. Our other channel is for all those people that are participants, members of the Sons and Daughters of the Covenant channel. Okay, all right. Now, so in Deuteronomy 30, this is the kicker. Once you know you're Israelite, there's something required of you, right? Okay, because we got all these people that teach this false concept that because you Israel, that's all you need to do, and just believe in Jesus, right? Okay, we got tons of teachers out here that teach that because it makes them popular and it builds the channel, right? But that's not the covenant. The covenant is saying you got to obey the voice indeed. So here, Deuteronomy 30, this is the kicker, right? Now that you know you're Israel, this is what's required, okay? Let me go over here. So he says, this is 30 and 1. It shall come to pass when all these things will come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and you shall call them to mind among all the nations where Yah have given thee, and you shall return unto Yah, and shall obey his voice according to all that I commanded this day. Isn't that what he said in Exodus 19? Obey his voice according to all that I commanded this day, you and your children with all your heart, with all your soul, that then Yah will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations where Yah have scattered thee. If any of thine be driven into the outermost parts of heaven, from there will Yah fetch thee. From there will Yah fetch thee, and Yah will bring into the land which thy father possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and it will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. See that? And Yah will circumcise thine heart, because a part of that covenant is circumcision. We didn't read that part, but that's part of the covenant, brothers and sisters. That's the sign of covenant, right? He said he will circumcise your heart and circumcise thy seed to love Yah with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou may live, right? And then he's going to put the curses upon your enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee, right? So that's not going to come. The Most High is not going to persecute the enemies until we are back in the place of kingdom priesthood. It's required for us not just to know we Israel, not just to know we're in captivity because we disobeyed the covenant. No, we're in captivity because that's correct. Let me back myself up here. It's not that we, like to the Gentiles, good to see you, my brother. It's not that we lost our identity is why we're in captivity. We're in captivity because we failed to do what was required of us as a nation, a kingdom of priests, and a set apart people. That's who he called us to be, right? So we have all these people like Pastor Darby. He identified with Israel. But what good is it to identify with Israel if we're not going to do what it takes to get us out of this captivity? Right? You just waking up and realizing you're Israel is not going to change our captivity. What's going to change the captivity is us getting back in our place, getting back into the covenant, as it says in Deuteronomy 30. And I can't for the life of me see why some people can't see that. You have people like Omar Tabo teach people we under the new covenant. You got people like um, Curtis Lewis, Apostle Curtis Lewis, is teaching partial part of it. We under the covenant, not the law of Moses, but under the Ten Commandments. You can't separate the commandments from the law of Yah that He gave to us. That's the covenant, right? So, with that said, pass the word on, brothers and sisters, brother. Like to the Gentiles, pass the word on that we be doing our. I'm gonna try to do some regular live streams, spare the moment live streams, so people can come back and watch the live streams. But I'm not gonna be real in depth like we do on the Shabbat. But it's easier to do something like this because it doesn't require a whole lot. We just read the text and just go with it. So that's the thing that we got to get on our belt, brothers and sisters. Is that we got to be Israel and not just know we Israel. And identity is not going to get us taken out of. Okay, yeah, you can do that. Sure. Hey, this is free open game. You want to share, uh, on your channel? I don't know if that's what you meant, but yeah, feel free to do that. Um, but yes, in the days of old, it was 10-minute clips we would do, and that would be it, right? So I don't want to do lengthy videos on this channel. I want to go straight to the point. So if I get another thought today, I might come back and do another live. Okay. But with that said, I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna close out. Okay. All the people who know we Israel, it's time for us to be Israel, right? Not just benefit from the identification that we Israel. Because what has changed? We were Christians, not know we Israel. Now we know we Israel, but we not keeping the law, statutes, commandments. We doing the same thing the Christians did. The only difference is we know we Israel. What has changed? Right? Have we in fact returned to the covenant? If we return to the covenant, then yes, we can expect to see the gathering. But if we just woke up to our identity and we're not even halfway there yet, right? We got to go all the way in this thing, brothers and sisters, right? We have to come off of these jobs and we have to be independent thinkers and we have to run our own business. We have ideas that we all are sitting on, right? I got 2 books I'm working on right now at the same time, which is going to be like a trickle effect. I'm going to go from one book to the next. And so that's how we roll, okay? How could we be set apart without the law? Right. That's what these false teachers they don't comprehend that, right? We can't be set apart, right? We're no different than Christians. Yeah. We're just Christians with an identity. I look at people like Frederick Price Jr. You know, it's favorable to teach doctrines of identity to reveal. We can reveal all day long identity, but we got to get back to the place of kingship, priesthood. We got to get back to the covenant. That is the covenant, obeying the voice that the Most High said and doing all that He said we will do, because that's telling us how to be the kingdom of priests. So if we don't do it the way the Most High said do it, then how can we be a kingdom of priests? We're just another religion, just like Christianity, just like Islam, all other religions. We just like them if we just do it the way they do it. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to close the live out here. I'll be back at another time with another live here. So with that said, shalom, shalom, shalom.